the senior national team. And he said, "Ono yaresa na ka adesini not willing to be part of the solution. Then you'll be treated as a problem that must be dealt with." A drew point to be that say you still don't want to be and no. When we see you as a problem, then you don't blame anybody. We are buying or say, "Oh yeah, we will do it and even do it more." Yana yaya yahu boni.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.
Welcome to OSIKANI TV on YouTube once again. Let's talk about the new sports minister, Honorable Kofi Idi Adams. Yes, last week he was sworn into office as the new sports and recreation minister. After that, the president of the land, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, told him that, "Honorable Kofi Adams, I don't envy your job." And he also tasked him to reset Ghana football, starting it from the doorsteps of the Ghana Football Association. When he also gave him his instrument of appointment, he actually indicated to him that he should go and change some things in the sports industry. Today, he has spoken. According to him, he is going to have a meeting with the Ghana Football Association leaders, and it is really interesting. We'll check out in the interview what he said at length. He spoke about the Black Stars team, Ghana sports, Ghana football. He spoke about Ghana athletics, boxing, and some other federations and more in this update. So we are going to check out the full interview in this particular update. So you have to just grab some popcorn and relax and enjoy everything. If you have joined me, take your time, like the video as always. After that, if you are new, subscribe to this channel, put us on post notification so that anytime I drop latest update, you'll be the first person to get and also enjoy. After watching the video, please share the link so that others will also come here and enjoy the latest on this channel. So I will not speak much. Let's just check out the interview. The interview was in Twi. Yes, some of you guys have been commenting that sometimes the Twi interviews you don't really get it, but this interview is about 1 hour long. So interpreting the whole thing is going to be a big of an issue. So please kindly forgive me on that. But he spoke on these particular issues. Let me just talk about the top issues that he spoke about. One, he said that he's a minister not only for football, but he's a minister for sports. So he's going to make sure that he will work with all the about 49 federations and make sure that Ghana sports will also come back to how it was. He also spoke about the Ghana football. He said, for now, we are almost at the lowest level and we are only celebrating or jubilating about football because of our past glories. He spoke about that. He said that he's also going to recognize all the other federations and make sure that funding will not be a big of an issue, because sometimes you hear that basketball federation or let's say athletics, they want an amount of money to go and compete and we will not be getting for them. So he's going to make sure that funding will also be sorted. He spoke about reset. He said that we need to reset our sports. We must be firm and fair and carry everybody along. So according to him, he is going to reset sports. So a lot that he spoke about, and also assured us that he's going to do everything possible for the Black Stars team to qualify to the next World Cup. That will happen in USA, Mexico, and Canada. He said a lot on this morning's Ultimate Sports Show that happened at Asempa FM, which was hosted by Obey Maestro. So let's go and enjoy the full interview. Because of some issues, I will be playing some other videos on it so that you guys will be enjoying it more. So let's check it out. After that, I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, Minion.
Honorable Yanshe Yankomoni Ediena say now you are the Minister of Sports and Recreation with the Republic of Ghana. Among for ABSA say Kofi Adams crown on the wine. Ne background is saying, ne sporting background crowd is saying on a crocus school no na sports ben or fato no also. My main found chassis in few. Let us know a bit about your background, more especially your sporting background.
Well, first and foremost, my main case
Asempa FM.
I'm not me a technical person for any sport.
Okay.
Me a policy person, a policy implementation. Say leadership of ministry sports. So
okay.
In most cases, in here say so obey a sports person and now technical sports person. because Sesana the anya Rebecca say who call Ministry of Defense and ye or say oh yes soldier.
Yeah.
Who call Ministry of Health or say oh yeah doctor. Maybe who call any of the other, maybe who call chieftaincy and religious affairs or say one person we maybe ohini ana we osofo ana we imam and sana we to me then alcohol. But would you say ma leadership? So it doesn't matter say kasa sports ana we active player in the sports field and sana we to me then ama leadership. Of course obi biara, there are two things that growing up you can't rule out.
Okay.
Music and sports. If you were not an active participant in terms of the act, maybe you will be an active supporter and a follower.
Yeah.
And let's say one go school. Hardly in those days the way a school system organized, when you be a obeko through school. Obeka say omidie manfa me ho anye den and sports. And I was a bit involved in sports at the very basic levels. I did some athletics. I was a long jumper for my school. I did javelin. I did shot put.
Okay.
I did 200 meters.
Wow.
So my yes anya me at the foundation and basic level, but manfano as a professional. But I followed sports also. But may be more of political and policy communication persons.
Okay.
Mon frame me that say me met na the ultimate
sports
show no so that. Mo frame me say nka yembeka sports ho asema nka mo be hu say there is sports in you. Because you call even general program that maybe matters relating to sports, but you can sports once.
Wow.
But it may be more and more the sports ecosystem. No more who say ubi metina mo platform so and discuss sports and ye onka
sports no
sports. But you may be deceiving yourself. Maybe you call even into details. We say sports. There are many other sports they know nothing about other than football.
Okay.
Obi wa say me a sports person. Also football we yin free football. E dey no any other sport.
Ayira.
Onim how onim even how they score, how they onim she funny ho. That's so because Okasa ewo football, so maybe you are specialized ewo hunting or say or yeah also a sports person.
Very well.
I am not a sports minister for just football.
Okay.
And I just Black Stars.
Yeah.
Me a sports minister for sports and recreation.
Yeah.
Me a minister or responsible for both football, for athletics, for boxing, for badminton, for all the sports and also then yema leadership over. And me are more than prepared to run that industry, to run that space to success.
Okay. But I hope say who that sporting background no so keep me idea meduma no etime easier for you. Maybe for example we be a ball game to the highest level, hockey, table tennis, volleyball, badminton, high jump.
Ebebua to some extent.
Yeah.
But we've had such instances also in the past and current. Ediaba. I didn't play any of these sports to the professional level. But me share with say leadership I was say yedema ministry no. So that ebema ya yeni I was say ye. Medebema. That one I can assure you say mambo ball anko professional level. Maybe me born for recreational purposes.
Yeah.
Where mambo volleyball and franco professional level. Me born for recreational purposes. Basketball mambo and franco professional level. Me for recreational purposes. But I understand me always say yeah the manipa always sports in
okay.
I understand me always say tibia omuwum a kwan always say yeah faso to be able to motivate them. Now me always say I understand that. And I believe say and here say one can say a practitioner.
Okay.
But you can also be a listener. We be a utie for now utie year. You can become even better than ubi a wire than what practices sports because we be here from different sources.
Okay.
Now what can you now abom? But ubi suba no feel say oh minima a manipa no unsuya bibi foforo. Because why ye na join all bano or say oh minim.
Okay.
Say no say me no enti on time nye na so say otie. Now that type of person also could be found wanting. Woman who queen say onkoye bibia. So I know, yes, I haven't been a professional in any of the sporting discipline, but be prepared. Say, remember that type of required leadership.
Very well.
You be mobilizing the civil servants, the technical people, any fans, any more associated, more within the sports ecosystem.
Okay.
Na ya then na kunimbi the sports media is part. The sport is also business. The sport is science. The sports medicine. There is sports nutrition. Ninyina no or say we make sure say the focus beko all areas.
Okay.
And you say nipa sorry keke now maybe or bubble no bubbles are there. You must be interested in nipa no ni groove. Okay. Even eduani bang and also nipa no then
nutrition.
Nutrition. Yeah. There's sports nutrition. And you bibia say obia sorry keke now once you identify a talent now we say this is talent ewo sropano you must nurture that talent and develop it. Developing it includes and not limited to even a Ghanaian.
Very well. Very well.
The science around the sports, we must go much more deeper into it.
Okay.
The management around sports, or say you go deep into it. The business of sports, or say you go deep into it.
Very well.
The communication of sports, or say then you go deep into it. My enjoy bibia and fama just for happening sake.
Okay.
Bibia no say then methodic. Anopa ubetina the sports show ultimate sports show here. What is the agenda? Has the free opportunity sports war to be discussed anopa if you are any enumereno a kwan ben so na yafa I'm making sure say that free platform that communication it fits into a certain master planner generate total interest in sports. A part of leadership. But
with this vision and ambition, you should have a very unique skill set you are bringing on board. And of course, this is a sports and recreation ministry, a newly created ministry, unlike the one before. No, what unique skill set and a one kasa ekutawa with the ministry?
Well, first and foremost, Medical culture will say every leader must be a good listener.
Okay.
Or say we will be a uti, and you must analyze and know. I will say we consultation. I will say uti. Any I will say we take a decision.
Okay.
Decision time is not the time for say winning for engage. Know when to sow, know when to nurture, and know when to harvest. The harvesting time and sowing time.
Very well.
And sowing time is so harvesting time.
Okay.
Or say I say we bibia. So one attribute, one quality I will say as a leader is to be able to listen. But know when to do the listening.
Okay.
Because a true timer also we take quick decisions. Then yes, I'm Reno and I will say I feel na we consult you bibi no. So one, I have that quality of listening and listening to even obi be describe kura say nipa yi mentie na asem no onpe wa asem ana onpe sports no na asem no. I don't see the person as such. If you say nipa no o bibi a uti a ebeboa. I've always been advising people say ebi wo ho a o kan car na say wenya accidents ana wenya car crash, as sometimes people would prefer it be called. Once or twice ana wa best tie once moving on a highway at maybe 100 kilometers per hour and between 80 and 100 kilometers per hour. Either nipa no car no accident no koye near fatal.
Okay.
And otumi manage car no ekujina yi. That person, whether the accident was or the crash was near fatal, say nipa no wa bon a onni hwe or the beboa wo we maybe driver fufuro a wo ba.
Okay, I get it.
You can learn something from sir driver. Again na oyeye entia car no obi enante 100 kilometers per hour ne tie be best. Nanso otumi so car no saa maka no ye den ekugina yi a hwe ensi. Obi so enambe 70 kilometers tie ne best pe na accident na ebe pie free sa best of time na akwakoye fatal na near fatal because be pra ebinum kura be famu ewu. There is something to learn even from that person. And to me no say oh na ye wa bon oba ye no wa achieve results bia maybe bibintie na wa achieve results no wutie no na nipa no ye genius so a wo behu.
Okay.
Obebie mu ama we hu say anamo say na me too ye.
Okay.
Na ede sa de ye den ede ba ye. So who tu anamo no bi ma menka say maybe memfa ho but wonam ho na wo hia sa de ye a have this at the back of your mind.
Okay.
So you need to listen. Apart from that, also, you must be very decisive.
Decisive.
Yeah. Decisive leadership. And firm. Men dane wo to say leave. From a boss say now women from now woko. Emu boss say now woko because sports one thing Hanopabia, like I said, when cry close to 200 radio station or more, or make us sports once. Area pay another 150.
Yeah.
And you may pay another 100.
Yeah.
Or more cash sports once. Obia one the perspectives. Obia one the angle. Or the eba. You are sitting there. Remember, you must be able to listen and decide and push the agenda. Knowing say this is the ultimate objective that we need. And maybe at this time no enye palatable. We didn't crop for him now. Debia media dey example or most times say obi oha because I love granite soup.
Okay.
And me the nkatiye the example say ye ma nkatiye say kona kodua. Maybe ye de ya ma obeye bonshia mienu say kona kodua be open cutting kwenti why wajin say o na bonshia mienu ya menye ide ma memfa ba konfa enyen kwan na because me penkwan no ene ubedi no just for one day and a maximum 2-3 days.
Okay.
But sa two bowls ni nyina udi kodua ubenya bebre enti wotia you will be able to feed on sankatenkwan ubedia for a very long time.
Yeah.
So there are times in talent development, sports development, policy initiatives, policy bi wo ho a emma resource eneya. Now so yeah, because ochina e shase say ede abanu ipia ebe pie sa wo beti sa for a very long time.
Yeah.
And that is one thing in sports.
Okay.
Ebi wo ho a ye me too much say ye pay
Resource
immediate.
Yeah.
Immediate. And in your say yeah. ebe boa ye ochina no na ye gyae no esinche na ye de ni nyina ye de egu enadie
okay
be hu na ochina de so no na asai kra and that explains what has happened to our sports now and we need to say then resetting
okay
na reset say when you be a owa kukudru so that enko ye say ebinum a omo pen katinkwan no na ya omo say wukura 2 bowls of granite na omo say yendinu na ya.
I get your point.
Wudi omo echi a and ye ochina mo bebre e kombedi mu nyina. You must be firm and at the same time fair, but find a way of carrying everybody to along.
Okay. But honorable, the work as a listening leader, before your appointment, not saying that the Ministry of Youth and Sports, any the ministers are passing through that ministry, not saying our picture. How did you see them working at that particular ministry and then Sakraya Bay?
Well, everybody will be our style. I normally don't want to comment about Omo Abako, and I believe say they achieve near Omo Eseti Omo say Omo be achieve. Me so ene meba with my own style and ways of doing things, hoping say I would achieve me so me initiatives and I me target objectives now. I should be able to achieve them. So me pesa meko so much into
predecessors. But they have achieved according to you. Mustafa Yusuf achieved.
They have achieved what possibly they set out for themselves. And mean to me say the person is a failure because nipa no make say or a failure. Maybe that's what he said to achieve himself. Yeah, go school no bi wo ho no need na say ono so go school no bi. Sa no why na adwin say me pass it through. Menya schoolmates. Man no say menya grades bi. Enti say wo ti ho now nipa no nya FF ana onya DD ana EEB. Now wo complain say nipa na anya dia. Maybe that's what the person set out to achieve. Wan ko ho say me kwa konya any excellent grades ya. Ono ne grades now o set out to achieve na eno na wenya no. So as far as ono ye concern so me jai me juma me so member beye no me free who I'm sure those who understand the industry and those who also follow it, whether they understand or not, will be the best judges. Usually I leave that to the followers,
the public. But Yanja on the area of recreation, very, very critical because unlike before, Ministry of Youth and Sports, you know the emergence of sports and the youth and how it works. But this is a novel creation, sports and recreation. On the area of recreation, but then you expect the war under your sleeves are what they break Ghana for.
Well, when you say sports naturally is supposed to push your business angle of sports. Eddie Sika any ejuma Edeba directly. You were the health part of sports. Yes, sports now. Emma yare bibria eta eboye. Ehaye no esu to me then eti eno na abrofo can say non-communicable and non-infectious diseases. Life habits diseases they said maybe diabetes being hypertensive in this nyama enye communicable into mean free wo enko bi no sa yare no sports etumima esote
enokre.
Then also we have what we call the unification role of sports. Ebi wo ho a mene wonka maybe school bi omuntemi nye ana woko kru bi so a ebisua bi nka ana clans bi ekon and so on and so forth. It me fast through sports. A unite one. Ebi wo ho a sorry maintain me ho ase religious beliefs, sects. Now mo get me fast through sports. Edin kabomi eden eba. Now sports are competitive. No for purposes of competition. Any the excellence of it, ena ye was sports ye no for the unanimity, inclusivity, any the joy of it, no, and also ye then so the recreation as sports, no, that component ye be the amount for the enjoyment of it, not for the
competition aspect of it. Okay.
So, for example, mo platforms muta encouraging nipa say omoye then you should come and be involved in walks, involved in this, involved in that. Ninyana a part of recreation.
Aerobics activity.
Ebi wo mo say corporate sports. Na mo ye corporate sports. Me the one about. They are not doing it for competitive nature and the excellence of it.
Okay.
They are doing it for the recreational purpose of it. Emma ye achieve those other set objectives sports and also then Eddie Breyer. So we're going to encourage mass participation, more like. And this who you maybe cranka would have been considered maybe as some form of work. You can use sports recreation. Say ubenya nipa yes the same thing but recreationally. So Cape Face clubs,
okay,
other community sports activities, centers are just to walk around. Unfortunately, no, adia bakon ayaye wo Ghana han say ya say yen public space any parks ebetumi aboa sa ade no. So my ministry have a responsibility to drive that agenda. And through collaborating with Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, and all other relevant ministries, we will push and bring back the idea of community parks, any community centers of recreation, so that obi obi to me anantie free ni fie alcohol onim se o mikopie ho maybe obi so beba ho yebebo ware as for fun. Yebeto spa for fun, and draft for fun, and yebeye even storytelling for the fun of it. Yebeye pilolo for the fun of it. All kinds of games, and some of these recreational, traditional and cultural games here for the recreation. Yebetumi nature no. I sporting ama ababe dane even a competitive sport. Because sports bebre ayeko other amine bebre ediaba ene ababe Olympic competitive sports aye compete for the excellence of it, na ye cultural and traditional something. Eno mutumi atoma amaya ebenwon. So 2-3 countries join, they start, they compete with it. Ababeye a continental something. Ubehuwa na obiso rem na ababeye Olympic standard sport.
Very well.
Yes, so you bet to me anature bisa.
Very well.
Atoma Togo, atoma Benin, atoma Côte d'Ivoire, atoma Maya. Anyone here was some culturally related activities. Ubehu 4-5 countries in West Africa. Here. Now be from other African countries are Adane continental sport and getting into what? The Olympic standard sports.
Very well. But Minister, then it means that on the part of recreation there, a long-term project. Other than that, just adapted certain centers to be a national center. And as will be gym B, will be center be a bit my any recreational maybe adapted near the how are we going to start it? Because a football team or a federation where it's for all Ghanaians. How are we going to start that one?
It's there already. They just say in Pejano and he also President Mahama say man with a certain level of focus. And when I make look, radio and TV stations be mu promote this idea. You are trying to do something on your own. Ubeko Krubiswa, who drive like weekends Ubehu keep fit clubs bebre keep fit activities. Ebi wo ayi mensa say now omo hia wo ho they climb the mountain and then descend. Omo ye traditional areas ahimfobi omutumi mobilize say omo asheda set up a debi maybe around the festival period say ye be no ye bibisa they do it sometimes once a year ebinumu ye every quarter.
Okay,
so it is already there but and coordinated in a way. So we want to have it properly and so well coordinated.
Okay.
So that you bring a kind of level of mass participation. Yeah, the structures now already, and I had the Juma. Anything America say, we'll do this in collaboration with the local government setup because you be here, we'll be here assembly members, unit committee members, municipal and district and metropolitan chief executives, regional ministers, and so on and so forth. Omo and omo share in parks so. And we will use some of these parks and gardens for some of these activities. The military will have to collaborate with them because almost
yeah.
Now they have their own games. You see, when we begin to encourage school sports, now you need military for you need other security agencies collaborate here. You are sure of getting some of these talented persons enter some of these services so that enko bano say ye jai obia sa ye nim say afibia ye be recruitment a certain number of slots will be reserved for sports persons e be reserved for them enti omuwremu e wo ho no they earn something and continue to train.
Okay,
they are earning something omonye juma omoyen hwe the wonderful performance of the GRA ladies, royal ladies, performance for 5 continuous times. Winning hockey championship, continuously. I am sure that performance is also because Omu a certain level of what income support.
Yeah,
because Omu say anye yukra busumi biano Omuji kakra. So they are training. There's some training support and push. You can imagine. Say all other sectors and also ASR, Ghana will begin to produce more talents and more professionals. You focus on. We'll go very, very far.
Very, very far. I'm sure for Semper FM, 94.7 da hon eti nkonya so Honorable Kofi Adams, newly appointed Minister of Sports and Recreation for the Republic of Ghana. Enti watena se yedi nkomo we de entity ani keke ene ya sha se ya de nkomo ne ba. Ushia me live on Facebook ya Semper 94.7 share me messages na emra questions emra contributions nyina emra na fe ye nyebre na fe ye misa honorable nam say oba headquarters we na say ye din shira na ta na che we na say asa headquarters no aba no enti ye koso nkakra sa. Okay, honorable yam fa no with all the work nyina no we are talking about financing and resources and they come to mind. In fact, the NPP government, the NDC government omunyina failing to establish the sports fund. They said ye work get fund supporting the educational centers. What you said regarding financing or resourcing the sports ministry and of course the recreation aspect of it, how are you going to cope with that? Sikara ko find hinfa kwa be so be generative revenue for you to be able to do all these things
well, very clear say without Sikano Inyama Bebre remain in the store of Nipano Nebody or Najim or say Oye Lakina say Nipano Chura, it remains on the shelves. So funding a key. In the manner you say education in here.
Yeah.
So President Rawlings Abreso, get fund.
Get fund, yeah.
You introduce also another health fund to support health. We must see sports as even more important.
Okay.
Because you're investing in sports. Yeah. Look, you who investing in sports now, you're more recreational based activities. Would diabetic patients, because the more you do physical activity, the less you are prone to in yare na emma asichire yare akoma ho yare a ye spend sika bebre ye de krasa andro no
yeah
eso be ye den beti so you produce healthier nation and so health sports fund no e ya de ba ko a almost say ye did agro. I think the time is now.
Okay.
If there is ever any time, no, say our passion, which is football, has gone down. And then football, no, at the form cry.
At the form, yeah.
Say, maybe you to make a cry. Say it's almost getting into a hole. Andrew Abi Simbum, the form cry.
At the form team.
Cry. Yet the form cry. We the only reason we celebrate is our past glories. Because Senka Omaya by 82 ka ye win the African Cup of Nations 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Yatina Hwama we recently we can only boast of a silver. So yen passion at the form.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean say because yen passion at the form nti inkrofo gidie any odo any opera or more edema sports no and eso enti. I think that this is the time say yetre odo edema yen sport.
Okay.
In terms of yen contribution, say ye sika fame, say ye ideas, say ye bibia was say ye to support our sports generally. My yen say because the football is down into football na kasa kra yen to me pejabium. And now other sports also anyhow I was say ye de more edema ho. I want to request and appeal to Ghanaians generally and to more especially more and more sports media no say ye encourage a lot more support to our sports. This is the time we need it the most. And to say ibusia near maybe a bit of okra na or buakakra na at a point wayama afedie wabedane or yarefo.
Yeah.
That's the time the person needs love and support the most. Me say well our sports is sick. That's the truth.
Our sports is sick.
It's sick, and needs to be healed. But in the healing process, or say then odo. That is why Obi Yareda Hospital, then Yakosrano.
Okay.
Now the Achedie Ediakwa Komano. It's all part of showing love because Ebwa healing.
But sports is sick and I say football is sick. The entirety.
Well, because ye the MBBA, ye the Yahoo DNA and Sika Ediakwa Koshe football, even in football cry a senior national team. And he say ono yaresa na ka
ades ni
nyina.
I get it.
Na ka ades ni nyina. So that is why in terms of investment or say yeah fair to all the other sports.
Very well.
The less funded sports, this is the time out because omona football says here away yenya trophy bia medal bia in free hono the other sports here na ekuraye other sports here na ekuraye and the funding to those other sports say ye pija but because yan in the past nti ama kese ne da form na omuso e da form.
Okay,
so we need to do something for all of them. All of me sure say kese no so ye prudent kakra you bet to me as CV kakra edi akwa koshe
the others. Okay, but honorable regarding the sports fund me sure say a idea and son will be free ministry or no will be making sure say na yensaka a sports fund
if that is the only thing that I would do so that maybe future leaders of that ministry that sector benya funding nyafe no mo be kwa koso line convincing finance minister say yes so my bibi and usually when there are competing needs acquire minister for say acquire the whole I was say yeah inya ayaresabia bibria I was say yisi and yiwie education for agina ho mo cost strike or mo yesi now also be bisa for other sports this now omunye the effect, but sports contribute a lot. Look here, one professional player Shika Yetiano any the investment or more a year or kronum, it helps build our GDP.
Okay.
Currently, from the figures we are not doing so much because our sports too
is going down.
Has gone down. But to me, na say ye peja, we are sure say we can contribute even bigger to the GDP. We share history. Anytime we are doing well at the professional level of all sports,
okay.
Now the grassroots sports, now e koso gidi. The school sports e koso. So out of that, the benya players, the amateur to play the junior levels.
Okay.
Out of that, you benya omuswa ombeba bebo yen local professional leagues.
Okay.
Then you sustain. So two things: grassroots sports koye, league koye. We say national and our national level, national teams, almost money. But look at our leagues. They are in a sorry state. So we discuss league na Bonibi na AC. Not much. It's not attractive. And he also baby to be able to drive corporate support.
Okay.
To our clubs and to have investment in the leagues so that league and also be attractive to the fans. Mesre. And again, I can only appeal whilst we work on improving the standards in terms of playing pitches in a stadium facility near Kekahono. Whilst say Juma to improve on that.
Yeah.
Let's read the fan base and say Omunchire Odo and fan various teams.
Okay.
The Kotoko fans, the Haas fans, the Ebusian drafts of old, the Sekendi, Hazakes,
Samates, the Nations,
the Samates, Legon Cities, and all of them. Ubia then enter Odo and Fama the team. Let's show love. Let's be present to cheer them.
Very well.
Let's contribute financially. The cycles, omo ensorium, omo kika omo. Okay. The clubs need that support.
Very well.
They need it because enosobeboa in terms of improving some of the playing facilities clubs and then omo. In a way, it goes to support them. It goes to support even their equipment. Their clubs and omo bases also because the fan base is not contributing much. And I pray say I'm successful in convincing my colleagues, especially the finance minister, say in Shishebia ewo edema omo the creative industry. No?
Okay.
Yenye bisum farmer sports, even if for a certain period.
Okay.
So you can say, okay, the idea you be mamu for maybe the next 5 or 10 years. And wait, we be to your tax just like any other person. But for now, sports and sports related activity, yeah, in general, VAT like most of the flat rate.
Okay.
Like we do for the creatives.
Okay. Okay.
So that ebeboa ama process now munya from games at least be retaining a bit more, but retaining more or say ye very accountable. Na ye this ikano ye nyama ebema the sports to develop, especially football.
Very well, fantastic. But Minister, Buka about Sikasemno, a very critical part. And again, my question is that now we African games no. Football, a man mema, a pick goal. But one of the federations are the highlight in this country, the Arm Wrestling Federation. Now it brings us back to the federations. How many sporting federations are you recognize under your ministry?
Well, Yeah, through briefing now, there were almost 49 federations, but a number of them, no, just for activity be see what baby. Now you the letter aba say you pay assistant, you pay moi na to facilitate for visas. Now you call and it ends. No real proven track record on the ground. Say omo baby.
Okay.
So one of the key things we're going to do is to reclassify all these other sports.
Okay.
You better reclassification. You know, they themselves know. So you to mean treaty all the other sports same. And they classify one to maybe category A, category B, category C, and maybe possibly say D. Krabe more. You better know, sir. So that the competitive ones are. You know, say. Oh, there were enough talents currently and the rest, and we've shown proof in the past. So you're able to me winning medals. Olympic level and now athletics at the international level. And no, they were category A. And I don't think that they should be more than 10. They shouldn't be, they can't be more than 10.
The federations
are everyone in that category.
A no.
Then now you're about B. Almost more potential to win at the continental level.
Okay.
But to me call beyond the continental level. No, so now you want B. Then the other ones, to me are remaining in the remaining category for national purposes and recreational activities. Of course, even the competitive category A sports and B sports also can also be done for recreational purposes.
Okay.
And yet me can say maybe category A for recreational. Something that is competitive at the international level that we have advantage over can also be a recreational sports. Every sports is recreational.
Okay.
Even soccer, football is recreational.
Yeah.
We to make about soccer just for the recreation of it. You say parliament ball against. We are not playing it because of any competitive is recreational for the fun of it. So all these categories will still fall under recreational purposes, but we'll have to categorize them and see the levels of funding.
Okay.
That you are more move to me a call for all kinds of things. Anymore, you need to build your levels locally, nationally, and so now doing class outside. Because you don't have to rush and get out there now. You are not placing, you are not doing anything. No, we are not going to rush through and say because international BBB because now you register no. We need to reorganize our federations and our associations very well. And the new director of National Sports Authority must be Ubia Owontiasie.
Okay.
Because it is not the minister and also obeyes RDA directly. It is the responsibility of the National Sports Authority.
Okay. To
regulate all RDA. Say Bibia then the issue of our pitches are jaya to say and all this is the responsibility of the National Sports Authority.
Okay.
So, you are appointing Nipa Ukura title, Director General, National Sports Authority, Deputy Director General, National Sports Authority, Chairman of the Board. One
for Professor Ankaho.
Professor. No, I think that it's going to be different now.
Okay.
Yeah, the work of Sheho now we say we are. The same way we put you in there, the same way we'll take you out.
Relegated.
Then the same way we'll take you out. So the National Sports Authority must be up and doing, and immediately one of the assignments will be to review and reclassify all these, find other ways of also generating revenue, and the revenue be directed into supporting the various activities. Because National Sports Authority or more estate department, maintenance unit, and the rest. Now, so you be stadia to deteriorate to the level that it has gone. Abra, Oshe people so Sika they are called in the name of renovations.
Wow.
So I wouldn't understand.
Minister, still on the federations. How are you going to place checks and balances on the federations? No, my accountable to government because most of the time we better NPC or Norway visa racketeering blind for nipa able ADHD. Now say so many disgrace now. A lot of these federations are so no deba de letterheads near 4G and Neoma na Ghana a bad name in the global space. No, how are you going to check these federations are obviously regulate no more buying needed M1?
Well, clearly, no. So which ye Penny, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama were clear indications about Proye any katashishe. And that explains why Ote oral.
Okay.
And he has indicated say it's not just going to be oral, but it's going to be there is going to be opal to go along with oral.
Okay.
Was o retrieve nia yafa I won't say yafa no. Obeyen shishe so that bibisa nye then enkosubium. So there's Operation Prevent All Loot. So loot at all levels must be prevented.
Okay.
So abra yes loot who yare no na prevent so. So eshishe bebre beba na me mpese me jampe the gun. Let me wait for all systems to be set up now mobeti because sometimes ebi wo hona say onya bibi sumfa so a onya ma indication earlier na
wadana also
say ebi wo mo resist sa die no on be resist. We want a certain surprise element also to come in, but accountability is going to be key.
Very, very key.
Untumin sorry keke emfa letter mba ministry say yemboa wo ana yem facilitate visa say ma say we call competition abra won treye say you have competed. There's proof of a local league kura amoye eno ebeye basic.
Okay.
So that yemfa at least being call for competition ya nipa no gina say ring no na ugina all kun say pitch so na or perform you say bimfa no ye wow be say ni pay or in bibia nkyere say this person is an athlete.
Okay.
So ye fa no keke e can who say oh because ya competition be because so and mostly you know this competition get announced a year or two before they happen. So omonya tepe no mo akoti
federation no.
Then watch I say omo ye bibi. So no, we are not going to tolerate that.
Okay.
You must prove a certain cycle of performance. Say Ghana, you are present in at least more than one region. Shown competition in the past over a certain period. I mean, person may say maybe 4 years
or 5 years.
5 years.
But a certain period.
A certain period.
Active, a certain period.
Before you come out. But of course, Abaina Kasanso should be very responsible because Abaina the name Eddie Crawford munye journalist. Eddie Eko pay visas among say you the one who call competition be as journalist Abraham munye journalist.
Yeah.
How can you check
the other federations? Okay.
Say one kasa who this are bonina. How can you check the other federations? So you yourself must be responsible.
Okay.
Then you can check others. But say wow, we shall say oh yes Adiana. You can have the will to check will be for. So we all have to be very responsible in the way
Soccer is the most patronized and the most participated game in this country, and as such, a lot of sika is pumped there, more especially the Black Stars. The Black Stars be bomb match. If Kofi my $2 million now home community no first Canada abantentem e do junior national teams na emma. How are you going to ensure say sika kakra de be mount for the year no e be evenly distributed other federations no e be nya bi Black Stars be nya ne de ades benya ne de na obia nso ani age na krum ha ya somadwe.
Well, ningina no na hyase ne any engagement. Yet na ho na say ye kan. Iniama bebre wo ho a ye betumi atwemu. But wo betwemu no so men fa wonko an wo pe. Bi wo ho a mate people will say be decisive, strike, do this, do that. No correct.
Okay.
People will want to see the minister striking because nya akoso no enye won de. The national team is not owned by anybody. It's not owned by Omo manage team.
The football people.
Ghana for the year.
Yeah.
And a yediama say, for example, if he say
manage mine.
So if Ghanaians as shareholders are concerned, you would have to be concerned yourself.
Very well.
So and to me Kobano say those who are managing the thing will think say all the shareholders, including even some of the football people, and sometimes including even those who are within or more managing or more consensus, idea yenti emfa bibia emre. So engagement is one way of resolving many of the issues. So we will have engagement. Yeah, engage here. It is say if you look, say Ebisuano or more used to some type of eduani. Say yeah, no say na bibinti or say what's sa. Went to me in far pay. Say okay, I mean I'm here a jaya of ye, and then you see you try him. Yeah. You may be speaking from the point of the purse that you have.
Yeah. And
that is what you can afford.
Okay.
Now, so, or more benefiting from Adiano in the past, or more enfanusa. But say, what's nasi? Anyone can say, look, in the past, now ye BBC. Now ye take this type of breakfast. Now ye take this lunch. Now bibiaba between lunch and then dinner and so on and so forth. Weekend now ye see the way anyamanu. Eteno or say ye ABCD a film. Eye nyame pe na bi nyama sanjina ye a ye den ye de beba. Me sure say wo manumu ana ibusuafo no reasonable and sensible. There will be very minimal resistance.
Okay.
Even though enye ebinumu de, but there will be minimal resistance. Dan say wa kotena ho because what you say afedi e bank account no about down unti to me then
so you engage them.
Surely there will be engagement. Friday my chief director HRO to, for example, the GFA say in 10 o'clock omuma meeting or ministries conference part of the engagement process. Before me swearing in Brown, we've had some unofficial engagement and briefing. So, it's a matter of understanding.
Okay.
Even the playing body will have to engage. Maybe conditions be in the past, yet to me, maybe a may not be possible. And I believe, say, who engage you, Nantia, see a bar, they will still play for their nation. They will still play for their nation without all those other things. They say maybe appearance fee and all those kind of things. They, look, those players also love their country.
Am I getting the impression, say BB, say appearance fee, 100,000 your co-work up, $100,000 appearance fee for each player, for management committee members, and no sano. At your time, you be here for winning bonus of $10,000, and then you never
call. You engage them. I will not answer a direct question to that. And I make say there will be engagement. There's going to be engagement. If we engage, because you need to put everything at their disposal. Maybe no be me can't say, oh, jai players in my me too, I will engage them.
You'll be part of that.
I'll be part of the engagement.
But the $100,000
I will lay bare the issues. I will lay bare the issues. But like I said, we are a ewo ifia engagement part and parcel of the processes of taking care of a family. This is a family. this is a family. Yeah, your mind.
Yeah.
There should be engagement and there should be reasonability. Who engage you with all the things are here available. Now still, son or more can. That's for the playing body. But more share on Sunny dear. On the Ahodia, you will be ka.
But don't be some catch of football people back at the Sika if you Sika. And you're the until I don't know over to.
I know Cressa FIFA a boy. But before FIFA beban FIFA omono mobile maintaining pitches na ball no maintaining.
Debbie
Basis na mo betene mu edi akọ FIFA na
Debbie
qualifiers na ball Spanish FIFA na edeba. So answer na FIFA de bibi beba no. Na den na ya spending on minus cash.
But say
spending enye de bia na spending qualify.
Yeah.
To say ko AFCON yi yan Spanish ka.
Spend it pa.
Qualify. Yan qualify na benya bibi.
Debbie
2018 Russia hosted World Cup no. Yan Spanish ka during the qualifiers. Yanko no yenya bibi. Why no Spanish aska no FIFA.
Aban no.
Enya aban. So aban Lucy 2018. And to say 2022 yetumi ko Qatar. Na say FIFA ema bibi a eno nkyerɛ sɛ ene de ɛyɛ free sika bi ɛna free baby abeto ho. We have spent over the period in building this team, in even sometimes building the playing body from the junior levels. Now what spending in different ways.
Okay.
Before omo eba bedru the professional point omo bebo. So there is expenditure that is incurred by the state.
But aban no one national team for revenue onye from faso and responsibility. I just say aban aye ekwan into aye kwan we see school.
Ekwan wo ye no. Wo ye as responsibility na at the same time no e say eboa o mine kanko.
Okay.
So wo be ye kwan a emwa wo kanko, there's no need for you to do it. That's why answer na we construct kwan no, there are factors that we consider: the economic value of the road,
okay,
the risk opposed to nipa or use kwan no. These are two key factors, and of course the availability of funds. Key, economic value. 2, risk. So 1 year a day since so na edebe bre or more then they use it. And well, you may construct a road not because you want but it must have an impact. And to say you are be na every baby ba failure instead say you are no e best spend 2 weeks on the road, you know. So see idea within a day, no ebeba. Say car na e kwa ko fight you na ba because e kwa no nye car no be say enti car owner no the cost no be can the cost of transportation enti obe charge you more afei dey obe charge less. Enti baby aduane ne ba no aduane ne bo no so be den ebeba from. So there may not be direct
benefits,
but there's so many indirect benefits. Anything that America earlier say, sports has its business part.
Okay.
It contributes to GDP. It contributes to GDP. And he said there were other sports to also develop. Now obakwa ye di sika keshe esem omukonya bibi. Now feel say oh me na menya enti me nkwa na media na ubema omo aka no ombebre. Again it is say ibusua maybe you are investing in one person. Ye pian ya ton yen koko ya ton ya gudie ni bibia e de wa ko school. Say who ya na we sha say who ye djuma na wo nya bibia obeboa enuanu ma omo aka no omuso echiba no omuso aye den omuso aba na fe de we a wo see you no me na makomi suku enti mi ji maketu a there's no reason why I was say me boa omo aka na so ye de ebusua no nyina na ya kabom
ye de
support.
I get your point.
Sika ye de boa maybe the senior team and now in football no o minus ka. It could have gone to other sports, but you said, okay, ahano, there was some advantage. And ye boa the chances of getting some support, no so high. And ye lucky na say a bar. We should be able to plow it into other areas.
Okay.
And your platform say, ye bet it. Say sana kosodia, mona mo ecosystem, no as you say it. Say sana, say ni amokano, sana tidia, and ye is wrong.
Okay.
We have to stop.
Okay.
But because so na say enye sa na eti so a, me magana for ati say dey.
Enye
sa na omo ye no. Eba oman no na efa.
Okay.
Now omo di ye nya o say omo.
No, but for that one they say you will practical example, the last World Cup.
Well, I want to get there and see things for myself.
Very well. So and now what kind of engagement as I am getting the impression say who engage with the FND definitely, because you are what the can come here to say you scrutinize the appointment of the technical team. You do mabeka hono. It's an engagement. The best started from there, and of course, who leads us for the rest of the qualification? Say Otuado na ne die ko na an engagement rebebem.
Say my more information say we are engaging. Engaging we are. Ni awo say ye di tuja no, ye di be tuja. Ni awo say ye di tuja ni ye di be tuja.
Because almost when you technical person to coach asem de untimi kedi.
And America say ye engaging we are. Ni engagement ni a ebe free mu aba no. Ni awo say ye di tuja no, ye di be tuja.
The relationship being a person who between who and the FA, because a minister be about FA president here, no so tia we anim hwa na we anim hwa no ono crowd also an opportunity say we dibri em fama na and could be dissolve the Ghana Football Association no relationship ben na yen expect from more
me position and say me kanu earlier say me hu obi a say ono no ye problem.
Okay,
bibi higher yepe akwanchire yepe say you solve this problem. I see everybody as part of the solution.
Okay,
that's my approach. And to me who FA for no say omo no mo problem. I don't see them like that. I feel say yen nyina yetena around the table la yen nyina ye betumi aka ho ama ye nya the solution to your problems.
Very well.
So that is my approach. And to me man say wo na wo ye obi a o ye boni. And to yen to mo fangu so.
Okay.
Na yen pamu free ho there be.
Okay.
They say, what did Christ say? He said, he that has seen not before should cast the first stone.
Yeah.
In our fields of work, maybe we have failed in one time or the other. But your man opportunity, you may end up also excelling. So, now you analyze it. Well, you took this decision. You sent these people home, but you kept this person. What was the reason?
Okay.
Is it justifiable? If it's justifiable, fine. But say out of that, you have justification for other consideration. Then we all say, we will arrive at that.
Very well.
So I'm not seeing anybody as a problem, even though I know there's a problem.
Okay.
But my approach is say, I don't see you because I feel say you too, you have some passion and energy in you, which may contribute. So that is the approach. Maybe the GFA or the FA, I go for kasa.
Yeah.
I go for easy issues. And no more kasa. I have heard all those things.
Atini
now. But me, I don't see them as the problem.
Okay.
We will engage.
Okay.
And the outcomes of the engagement, and mostly it is after you give the opportunity. Of course, your period that you need time. We don't have time.
Time in your crowd.
And in your period that those kind of engagement, A true point to be that say you still don't want to be and no. When we see you as a problem, then you don't blame anybody.
Okay.
And yes, sir, Maka said, who is a problem? Who is a problem? And today you continue to be a problem forever. No, there will be a point.
Okay.
Where if you are not willing to be part of the solution, then you'll be treated as a problem that must be dealt with in the course of dealing with the solution.
I get your point. Because as a listening leader there, I am sure said your inability to qualify for Morocco 2025, what? And the Ghana for Bibre, a can say Otuado na ye problem into one corner. Be sure say no. So what is your position on that?
Well, I have said we will engage. Well, what can I say? Technical person. So there are a number of technical advisors available to me, and we are in a course consulting.
Okay.
You consult, you engage with the FE now. We will arrive at a decision whether near Ewo Hono is good to go with enhancements.
Okay.
And now, oh no, or say, yes, son, so out of all those engagements, we will arrive at a decision now. Because me too, I will be extremely happy. Say, Yentumianko Afcon, Yebeko World Cup.
Yeah.
Na Yenko Keke. Yebeko Abo our last record at South Africa 2010.
Okay.
That would be my joy.
So what's special about
Bibia, well, anything be share engagement, that's it, and we will engage. And I believe, say, look, they may not talk about it publicly, but me sure say, akoye ferry amaye, like for the first time in many years at African level. Football, Asia, Ghana, enkahu.
Yeah.
And Ghana be kokra ye kahuna say ye koye the last one na group stage no na ya parking yama yentumi anhye bia. It doesn't speak well. People are not just happy. And I believe being the human psychologist that sometimes I believe say more in charge, you know. If they have some conscience, would also know say idea was say ye bibi. Yes, sir. We can continue doing the same thing and expect a different results. There, mother. You have to do something different. So we the same route now. So now Ufa ho unantiki without balancing enti na ho ye true what to yen next time ufa ho we wadu say won kofa baby fu we be fa ho biuma or say we you step no in such a way say won ye then won thing to because you know the condition of the road so ye be share.
Okay,
I don't want to preempt and start indicating out there say oh you see and Argentina will share one so you are already indicating to the public say now the engagement will be useless per se.
But Minister man for say Yentumi qualify for this AFCON because we hear the history of a year Ghana since 2004 no every other AFCON be a qualified call to say nanu die Yentumi qualify. Among for say Yentumi qualify I think call for the head of some people within the federation leadership because Oma fairly big time when it's for the yard.
Well, people do things for many reasons because akwa to say yenimu eko apami say munyesi emfama ye nti muntumi anye dia ene mumfanto na monko. They are not wrong in thinking that way.
Okay.
Ebi wo hoso a ene na esi ye nti a yankoso maybe there will be something there bigger than near nayenim. Again, minim say kasa bebre akoso. Now I am the Minister for Sports and Recreation, so I need to be careful. Miameka ewo abonting and sana engagement bekoso.
Okay.
So as much as possible, no, whilst it is the right of Ghanaians to be angry, so Omeka say, to be on fire and conti, moon free her and so on and so forth. No? I, as a minister, no, I need to have some level of what engagement.
Okay.
Before I say me join it, so type of conversation, and then they say that, but I'm no more the minister. So it should be like decisions out of engagement. Memeka omunya sa access no. Zena meso me kebi keke. So mumma yenye engagement.
Okay.
Now out of the engagement ye BCBA no.
Okay.
Mobeti.
There are discussions or the corridors of the FSA on person increase the tenure of presidency, from 2 terms of 4 years to 3 terms of 4 years each. Meaning that discussion about table Neswa, what would be your position on that discussion?
Well, Fambra now listen in discussion because Omainanka Sankrano 2 terms of 4 years for a president of the whole Ghana, including football and Bibia. So why would we want to? That's immediate issue I'm raising in relation to that. So there are a number of more things are in here, especially the football system, no than tenure.
Yeah.
So we be Samia, Nyama higher football management, and tenure, and the biggest problem. So anybody who puts tenure ahead of those things, and he has
a problem.
He may have a problem. He may have a problem. Me, I must say, me, a sports person, I don't think that I will put tenure over the many things that I see around me. And I will advise them. Say, I don't think tenure is one of the problems. Football management is here. Okay. Tenure is not one of them at all. It's not. I don't see tenure as a problem.
Okay.
Yes, solve all the other teaching problems are higher. Now tenure APA will deal with tenure, but I don't see tenure as a problem.
Minister, Ayana Manfu bisa government contribution to the development of the Ghanaian elite. And me sure say development the best chance from the grassroots. Yenhwe new money plans are for grassroots development of our elites and I say your talent, you know. Now if you drew the Ghana Premier League, the state a woman sikasem yebo league kra any sponsor ni nyina aye dadwene yebo league security nsem basa na no kra de na obi I say kan akọwo na and say bebre what plans now work for the Ghana Premier League plus the grassroots maminti okakra
me chiro bibi o paper so na I hope so. This is
a triangle.
But I'm with a base like a pyramid.
Yeah.
So a honey grassroots.
Okay.
And a honey esroho. Under normal circumstances, investment, especially state investment, ewo grassroots no ko say ye kese pa. Na e basro no na state nensa eti. Now other business interests and betumi aye den abam because ahano ababe profitable at this stage omo ababe professionals or getting into becoming professionals, so interest business persons will be interested in investing on Musika
the
reaping stage.
Okay.
Now so offer yen investment in sports
Adani. Okay.
I say hana anko say yede kakra bi na yede iko. So your triangle is not able to stand, it's not stable. Me pese me dane no.
Okay.
Na a hack say no emra down so that it can be stable.
Wow.
That's the objective that I want to, so that at the end of the day no the state investment in sports no enko more
on the grassroots.
At the grassroots.
Okay.
So that omo imagine eba professional now profitable no individuals wey to me aye then akom because when we say akrai what talent then me support kwa menya me brand ekobata ho a mfaso beba so and so on and so forth. So that is my number one objective. Say esun say eye kitwa the way I at you, I want more of it to go to the grassroots level. Enye commercially viable. But a honor talent in the free before it gets to the commercial viable state, will be to me the and our companies be Edio Musika.
Very well, beautiful. What about the Ghana Premier League? Any plans? When we said the president of the land, Akase Obema, almost support allowances, kakra, any other. But for the first time in so many years, Ghana bought a league without a title sponsor, a broadcast sponsor, and over here in pitches near. I mean, wow, nim dada. Any plans are for the Ghana Premier League?
It's been of major concern to us, and Untina your manifesto, and we mean to keep it. Playing body registered players of the Premier League, omubenya support kakra every system abine no, and we're going to commence some engagements on that. Na you ekwaya yabefa so how that is going to be there. Of course, there will be engagement with sponsors. So na ya mom, but before sponsor the clubs themselves must improve on corporate governance system. And accountability, transparency, and ways of doing things must improve. Acts of hooliganism or say then ye free.
Okay.
Because when you see one swatre na anui, when to me nkoye bibisa na obejin say obi de ne brand beba betoso, because it will affect nipa no so ne brand. So we need to behave ourselves as club owners or club managers, as fans, and as playing body. Here now your responsibility to commit to such sport in order to say you be attract the kind of support and attention and there are other laws here or yebeshe whether we think that it should still be there now, because this whole idea say alcoholic and other beverage companies cannot sponsor sports because they cannot advertise at certain times and so on and so forth. Should we really continue to keep that? Meaning, say Supreme Court are ruling on one part about these our celebrities advertising and so on and so forth. But should we continue to have it in our statute books? Because the EPLs and the rest are Henneken is sponsoring. The Guinness and then the rest they are sponsoring, and it's being aired on DSTV channels. And say if you be brave no more DSTV. So Mofrana I say young person or more share DSTV channels with Henneken and then others showing their advert. So why are we denying ourselves this revenue anka ebeboa yebe support clubs nama omu enya bibi? I would prefer they sponsoring and advertising and the state and the clubs getting more funding to be able to expand on facilities. Ebema emofrano after they have watched, they will have opportunity to practice positive sports rather than watching it on DSTV and not getting the facility to train now rather. So we have to look at Sam Rano and see what we can do about it. So we'll be having engagement with the Attorney General and then the Minister for Health, so that from the FDA angle, amendments or say so that we can benefit from those systems.
That's what Boama in Premier League Nenya a sponsorship. This critical year because Nimsika a very, very difficult for the ministry. And of course, the existing state infrastructure stadium maintaining it a problem pa Sikaka Kreya honorable Eba ministry kwan be so ne be fa ye betimi di bia maintaining facilities na ye standard na ye okay na nkudu baby a bedru baby na caf say montimi more games hanom.
Maintenance is key because especially when Nikesia when need be massive renovations and anything that they be or say we make sure say we and kakaka menja and say to the pointer you will not even find the money to do it. So regular routine maintenance. Because regular and routine maintenance to a very, very large extent, so that Niamano and deteriorate to the pointer. Even playing pitch crown, we are not able to keep it. Maybe say inner things be na maybe abroye so pitch in India, there should be no question about our pitches.
Okay.
So we would work on this. Okay, kakrana ebano. Kwame na yebefa so. Mi ayenya so ye the venue numa orders to use mi ayebebano and ye do we reinvest in maintaining the facilities and na no the eba na ye Christmas bonus. All this we will have to be accountable and transparent in the handling of the finances.
Honorable Minister Obreni to me know we JDM in the campaign can say African African games
all African games
sika ikuwe no sika oba bema obemia investigation into that one. Make sure say it falls within your
I can tell you if we don't do an audit or a probe into the all African games and
okay,
because for what has come to my attention is bad already. From what I have seen is bad. And idea we'll go into so that never again should we repeat such a thing. Say or mine ne resources in any way and in any form.
It's the way you went to your kotokoni. Na kotokoni also ye dey say bias kakra bebe mo has interest in kotoko against other clubs no.
That's why being FA and I'm just a minister. I'm just a minister, so I don't really have that say. I'm not the one going to manage the clubs and why we've had other ministers in the past also almost supported one club or the other. It didn't spoil anything. So what is wrong if I'm Krobier? There's absolutely nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong.
Okay.
So there's nothing wrong. Okay. I don't see anything wrong. I'm not going to do anything. Look, Krobier Asantiko doesn't need any influence from anywhere. It's a celebrated team. Yes, we know we have our challenges. We don't believe in maybe yen member ewo surunti or koyen yamabi to undermine this. We don't believe in that. Fair play has always been our principle.
Oh, okay.
Fair play has always been our principle. So fair play will continue to rule.
Okay.
Maybe Medisan Shisheno Beba Ama, all the other teams will benefit because that has been the spirit of Kotoko.
Okay.
Say Libya Yepe Peperio. Okay. So that's what I'm going to bring in.
But chief director, because I'm a briefing, who predecessor amount handing over note. Financial position of the ministry is here to say, and I said,
a kappa near about to my attention, 468 million Ghana cedis.
And then
say yes, every other time, no, for even all African games, accommodation, participating teams, yet the hotels be break up.
All African games.
Meanwhile, all the participating teams pay. So I would have to be finding out. Say, and we enjoy just allowing the institutions our morenda services to suffer. And now Sikano Yediakwa Bibi for other than near participating teams in any athletes, any nations, each year at the Maya. So we'll have to find out all these issues. It's not fair.
Okay.
It's not fair. Maybe some of the hotels are big hotels, they can manage. A bit more small hotels are almost facilities, can insure Bibia, and some of them have to go and even hire new staff during that period to be able to support to render services to athletes now more facility now basically it's not fair. It's not fair at all.
Wow. Honorable, they make major acquaintance. A year before they work as first class ticket, the Umunya for being to Quabim.
Oh, the president has indicated. Say, first class ticket is a no. President Naka. And once the president have authorize us. We too must make sure say it trickle down to everywhere. It must trickle down to everywhere.
But national team need to I have more charter flights in the moment. In first class, ni baby.
Well, say charter flight in the then your charter flight. So I know the space in now.
Okay.
So that one it is a chartered flight. Now mostly chartered flights now able use in Ukraine. There will be no like anything like first class.
Oh, okay.
Usually when you go to the ticketing companies or more plane a kesia maybe first class business and sana economy premium all the way to the last, but which are usually a smaller size plane a bi ohokra one sheni okra business and sheda in musa a few seats, business seats, and then a lot of them are economy seats, because such chartered flights normally for shorter routes, and our routes are any direct flights are air coho. Say we say we commercial. You have to go through so many complex routine, and so now could do venue center.
Mati say a Black Galaxies 2022 bonuses no. Still I am say nyanko.
Oh, bonuses there baby. Coaches cry ye don. Can even see they are gonna cry.
Any on what be two problem pa.
Well, we will see what we can do.
Hey, come on. Hey, Asemo. But honorable final question. Black Stars in Tukwaya. Black Stars in Tukwaya.
Yeah, no final, mommy.
Me final. Me who's our time now so. Black Stars in Tukwaya. No, be Tukwaya.
Well, it depends. There will be some occasions that if it becomes necessary, but any be regular. There will be occasions if it becomes very necessary. Why not? But say, you're not a technical person.
Okay.
Whatever psyching that you need to do, you can do it before then. But in the course of maybe the competition, you say you show your face. Why not?
Maybe
you have to be there. If your presence will add value to the participation, why not? Every trip that the minister will embark, you must assess the necessity, the value of it.
Okay.
Whether in Yana say oko no keke. No. So
Pepe DM keke.
Oh no. Being already now, I don't like traveling. Traveling is not part of my hobby. I remember those times with President Rawlings. Do a visas in USA. Now person over renew in them so that according to be bad. Now, we see visa. One time he has to call the one embassy that night to make sure the next day I got visa and to follow up. So we will go only when we have to go, when it becomes necessary.
But Ghana for some country say the only way we need massive support from Ghanaians. They say we making sure say any budu akwa na betu wiem am yetimi qualify for the World Cup. That one, that assurance must be given to Ghanaians. Say no dear ubenya ye maximum support in and out.
Me also me as sports minister. Me buying also we will do it and even do it more. But I pray say knowing your players so almost committed. Nyame edi boni bia ye hu
okay,
or the beche
okay,
ama akwan no aye den ebie edi amaye say ya na ye hu boni say binum na omo edikan ebo ball ne maye ya ye hu boni bi na omo aka bibi egu yeso a nti a enko de we ayekwa ye besre say onfa moma yemfa nche ye hu na ye nyina yemfa akumapa infantile yen teams no yen national teams no, not just Black Stars, the female teams, the male teams ni nyina at all levels yemfa akumapa infantile muichi na nkunimde ne ye den embra say obi afa ho ebufuo because ya ye ne bibi nti de bia ne mpa ebo ne say enye ye mfa amade na nipa no say otie mi am esre no
ene oni pa ma ne George Free ne Abdul Salam nyina nkasa
o ma ye mfa nche na ye mfa akuma ba akun
okay
Emfantechi. Muswa moye nsenchirofo moye sports related no so. Meaning say yes. As for criticizing no eno na ema yejina yiye. We welcome it. But mumma yenye no in such a way so say ebeboa sports development no. Bibi ye boni a yenka. Papa so a yebe ya ebema yakoyi ni so yenka. The way sometimes you praise the EPLs the other leagues La Liga ni keka hunu ina no yen ye bibi so kakra sa enfama yen local ones.
Okay. 10% betting tax in the send they obetwa be share sports fund. Mo me abolish ni keke mo.
No on winnings we are abolishing it. Policy. The winnings, the taxing betting wins, a commitment. But when him say, who stake here, tax, so.
Okay.
There's a tax on every stake.
Okay.
So tax now, on stake, and America say, because the bet is sports related. And the tax now, on stakes, when we establish a sports fund, a percentage of the tax on the stakes, should be a direct source of fund for the sports fund. Now, your best answer is your lottery.
Okay.
Sports lottery. So,
okay.
So you buy once a week and twice a week so and modalities in the bar. And luckily for me, the immediate past director general of National Lotteries, MPC, so he's in Parliament. It make it easier.
Okay.
Also listening to him and listening to all other persons. We developed the system up to a point. Unfortunately, it wasn't implemented. But a major source of funding into the sports fund, because we need to develop our sports. We need to have a university that will train sporting persons so that Nkobano said, coaches are just former practitioners. There's a difference between who chair there, any adieno, not every practitioner is a good teacher or a good coach. So I say training and we need to establish facilities for that. Even the media. How many of us understand beyond football and boxing and maybe athletics?
Okay.
You can say munkoye commentary. And for any other sports, we will not know how to even score it or how to even
a lot of us, yeah.
So we all need that level of training and expertise in various sports.
Okay.
It is out of having such facilities and training locally. So we are committed. We need funding to be able to do Sanya.
Very well.